The way we live on and use our land can have a significant impact on the environment. We may not realise it, but our everyday activities can result in contaminants leaving the land and entering waterways. Let's talk about nutrients, specifically nitrogen and phosphorus. Nitrogen is naturally occurring and vital to plant growth. It builds up in the soil as it is converted from the atmosphere by plants such as clover. It is also found in fertiliser and becomes highly concentrated in stock urine. Most nitrogen enters the water through a process called leaching. When it rains or the land is irrigated, surplus nitrogen can drain down through the soil and below the root zone of plants. The nitrogen is then lost into the groundwater and over time can make its way into surface water too. As for phosphorus, it is usually bound closely to soil. This means that it can enter the water through erosion. Phosphorus is also present in fertiliser and stock dung. Phosphorus is commonly lost through a process called runoff or overland flow. After a period of heavy or continual rainfall, the soil becomes saturated and reaches a point where it can't take any more water in. When this happens, the water, which is carrying soil and phosphorus, runs over the land and can make its way into the water. Soil types and climate have a big impact on how quickly the nitrogen and phosphorus are lost into waterways. For example, a soil type with coarse particles, such as pumice, is more at risk of nitrogen leaching as the large gaps in between drain the water which is carrying nitrogen through the soil and into the water more quickly. Soils with fine particles, such as clay soils, have very small gaps to hold water and take a long time for water to work through the soil, which means these soils are more at risk of sediment and phosphorus runoff. An excess of nutrients can be toxic for fish and other critters in waterways and can lead to nuisance algal blooms, decreasing the quality of the waterway and estuary ecosystems and making the water unsafe for recreational and cultural practices. To minimise the impact of contaminants in the water, there are new national regulations that will require landowners to change the way they use the land. This is part of a nationwide move to improve the health of fresh water. One of Regional Council's roles is to deliver resource consenting and compliance for these regulations, as well as other national and regional rules. Our land management officers can work with landowners and communities to support them through these regulatory changes and encourage better land use practices. Improving land management practices is the key to helping landowners get the most out of their land in a way that's sustainable. Together, we can help create good environmental, economic and social outcomes for all.